Vanilla. This flavor serves as the essential foundation for nearly all modern ice cream, utilizing real vanilla beans or extract to provide a subtle, floral sweetness. Its popularity stems from its ability to pair perfectly with almost any other dessert, making it the most requested flavor in shops worldwide. Beyond its simple taste, true vanilla requires a complex curing process for the orchid pods, which contributes to its distinct aromatic profile and status as the universal standard for frozen dairy. Chocolate. By blending cocoa powder or melted chocolate into the base dairy mixture, this variety offers a rich and indulgent profile that varies in depth depending on the cocoa percentage used. It has been a staple of frozen treats for centuries, evolving from simple cocoa drinks into the dense, creamy scoops enjoyed today. The fat content in the cocoa butter helps create an exceptionally smooth texture, often resulting in a more velvet-like mouthfeel compared to fruit-based variations. Strawberry. This classic fruit flavor relies on macerated berries or natural purees to create a refreshing balance between sweet dairy and the slight acidity of the fruit. Historically, it was one of the first distinct flavors added to ice cream recipes once ice harvesting and storage became more accessible to home cooks. The color is typically derived from the berries themselves, and the presence of small seeds or pulp pieces adds a necessary layer of texture that confirms the use of real fruit rather than synthetic flavoring. Mint chocolate chip. Small flecks of semi-sweet chocolate are folded into a bright, refreshing mint-infused base to create a cooling sensation on the palate. The contrast between the sharp, herbaceous mint and the solid, crunchy chocolate pieces defines this flavor's enduring appeal as a palate cleanser after a heavy meal. Modern versions often emphasize natural peppermint oil, providing a clean finish that lingers slightly longer than the sweetness of the sugar. Butter pecan. Roasted salted pecans are folded into a brown sugar or butter-flavored base, resulting in a deep, nutty richness that leans toward savory. It is a traditional staple that emphasizes texture and the toasted profile of nuts, which keeps the sweetness from becoming overwhelming. The salt used to treat the pecans is vital, as it cuts through the high-fat content of the cream base to create a sophisticated, layered taste experience. Cookies and cream. Crushed chocolate sandwich cookies are stirred into a smooth vanilla base, allowing the cookie pieces to soften slightly while retaining their distinct cocoa flavor. This variety gained massive popularity, capitalizing on the widespread love for pairing creamy textures with crunchy, baked inclusions. As the ice cream melts, the moisture from the dairy hydrates the cookies, resulting in a unique gradient of texture that transitions from soft cookie crumbs to solid pieces. Rocky Road. A combination of chocolate ice cream, mini marshmallows, and chopped nuts creates a dense, multi-textured experience that mimics the classic candy bar. The inclusion of marshmallows provides a chewy, sugary element that breaks up the bitterness of the chocolate and the crunch of the roasted almonds. It is designed to be a heavy, satisfying dessert, often characterized by its generous proportions of mix-ins relative to the base ice cream. Coffee. Finely ground coffee beans or concentrated espresso are steeped directly into the milk and cream mixture to impart a robust, aromatic profile. Because it captures the distinct bitterness and earthiness of a freshly brewed cup, it remains a favorite for those who prefer less sugary, more sophisticated flavor profiles in their desserts. This flavor profile pairs naturally with dairy, as the fats in the milk bind to the oils in the coffee, smoothing out the roast's natural acidity. Salted caramel. A thick ribbon of golden, salty caramel is swirled through a sweet cream base, creating an intentional contrast between the sugary dairy and the savory saltiness of the sauce. This flavor relies on the balance of flavors, as the salt enhances the depth of the burnt sugar notes while preventing the dessert from tasting one-dimensional. The viscosity of the caramel must be carefully managed so that it remains soft and pliable even when stored at freezing temperatures. Cookie dough. Chunks of heat-treated chocolate chip cookie dough are mixed into a vanilla-flavored base to satisfy the universal urge to eat dough before it hits the oven. The soft, chewy texture of the dough against the firm, frozen ice cream provides a distinct mouthfeel that has made it a top-tier choice for decades. Since raw flour and eggs are traditionally risky, modern manufacturing uses pasteurized components to ensure safety while maintaining the characteristic density of the unbaked treat. Pistachio. Green, earthy, and mildly sweet, This flavor is derived from crushed nuts that provide a unique, slightly resinous taste that is distinct from other nut varieties. It is often pale green in color, sometimes enhanced with natural chlorophyll or extracts to reflect the hue of the raw nut. Because the flavor of the pistachio is delicate, it requires a balanced base that does not overpower the natural nuttiness, making it a sophisticated option often found in high-end creameries. Peanut butter. This flavor utilizes creamy or crunchy peanut butter folded into a base, offering a dense, salty, and high-fat experience that is exceptionally satisfying. It frequently incorporates swirls of additional peanut butter or peanut-based inclusions like brittle or cups to amplify the intensity. Because peanut butter contains natural oils, it interacts with the freezing process to create a very smooth, almost fudge-like consistency that sets it apart from fruit or spice-based ice creams. Black cherry. Dark pitted cherries are submerged in a sweet cream base, often with a hint of almond or vanilla to highlight the deep tart notes of the stone fruit. The cherries are typically processed to remove excess moisture so that they do not freeze into hard, icy blocks, ensuring they remain chewy and pleasant to eat. This flavor is particularly popular for its visual contrast, where the dark, wine-colored fruit creates a striking aesthetic against the stark white of the cream. Birthday cake. A sweet cake batter-flavored base is studded with multicolored sprinkles, often including pieces of actual yellow cake or frosting. It is designed to mimic the nostalgic experience of a childhood celebration, prioritizing high sugar levels and a distinct processed vanilla aroma. The sprinkles are a functional part of the experience, providing small, sugary pops of texture that break up the consistency of the smooth dairy. Banana. Fresh or pureed bananas are incorporated into the mix, resulting in a creamy, tropical flavor that carries a naturally sweet, aromatic profile. Because bananas have a high water content, they must be processed carefully to avoid creating large ice crystals within the scoop. It is a flavor that thrives on simplicity, as the natural sweetness of the fruit often requires very little added sugar to be effective.